We're gonna be safe and sound tonight.
Welcome. This video is going out to the Alphabet Boys as a olive branch, as a sign of peace. And peace I give you. So here we are in the 2020 age of clarity, and a lot of things are changing, a lot of things are happening. And I believe UBI and the Yang administration really changed a lot of things. It really brought people together from all corners of the spectrum and really showed that we all can be a happy family if we have the right policy given to us and shown to us. And we can kind of see each other's perspective when there's harmony in terms of policy. Because as they say, the devil is in the details. And the devil has been creating the details for far too long. It's about time we created the details for ourselves and for each other. And that's what UBI is. That's what the internet is. That's what this conversation is. And there's a lot of hate towards, quote, the government on all kinds of sides. And it's not you guys. It's not the alphabet agencies. I want to make that 100% clear. It's not you. It's Congress. It is the political parties. It is the decision-making machinery that creates policy. That hurts people. You are innocent. Outside of your career and any confusion and anger it might create, I assume you are all very beautiful, harmonious, family people who really just want to grill, right? Have you seen any of those memes? The centrist, he just wants to fucking grill, man. And I understand that. I'm just trying to fix injustice, and then after I fix injustice, I just want to grill. Maybe grill in Ancapistan, because we're burning far too much oil. So I just want to grill inside of Ancapistan. You know what I mean? Drink some beer with my friends inside of Ancapistan. That's what would really make me happy. And that's my goals. That's what I want to do. Has nothing to do with violence. Has nothing to do with destroying the government. It has to do with weakening institutions that I feel are hurting society and that I feel are damaging society. And we can raise up UBI in their place, in their stead, right? As they fall down, UBI raises up, and Ancapistan raises up, because we need a soft place for people to land, and we need a bit of security and a bit of stability to compensate for the destruction of these institutions. And I understand the loyalty that you have towards these institutions, and I understand the loyalty you have towards the state. But you have to understand that the downtrodden, the working class, the working poor, they've never had a voice before, and they've never had a chance to speak their piece and speak their grievances. And it might be traumatic to hear our perspective. It might be traumatic to hear our pain and to hear our opinions. But when you're talking about 25% or 30 or 40 or 50% of the population who is struggling day to day, working hard, earning their keep, and still struggling and still falling behind or getting evicted financially being crushed, you have to address that problem. You have to address that structural injustice. And that's what this debate is about. It's not about a war. It's not about an ideological war. It's about solving these terrible policies. It's about solving the terrible tax structure. It's about ending the Federal Reserve. Ending that piece of shit institution that is a scourge of corruption. And you guys, I mean, you might have some very, very loose association with these institutions, but that's not you. That's not who you are. You did not create these institutions. You don't run these institutions. You just you have a loosely connected bosses, very loosely connected bosses. So I ask all of you to consider extending the peace pipe, extending the olive branch, and reaching out and communicating, right? And even if you are kind of guilty, even if you feel guilty of your place in the system and collecting tax dollars and having privilege, all of this, right? All you have to do is invest in Ancapistan, buy some corporate bonds. You'll even make interest. You'll even earn interest on the investment. And repent for your loyalty to a demonic system, your past loyalty to a demonic system, and then you'll be forgiven. You'll be forgiven, and you can join us in a new age of peace, of prosperity, and of love. And we can all be good neighbors again. We can all be joyous neighbors again who celebrate collectively and who laugh collectively. And it'll just be beautiful. We can explore human creativity. We can create a world where the artist is appreciated. We can create a world where people genuinely care about other human beings instead of a paycheck, instead of their bank account. And I'm an ANCAP, you know, I still see value in money, but money is primarily a unit of account. It's primarily a system of intelligent rationing. It's a system that gives the productive more so that the productive can continue to be productive. And it gives the lazy less so that the lazy cannot waste it and cannot use it for unproductive purposes. That's what money is. It's a self-correcting, rationing, intelligent rationing system. So we're going to keep money, but we're not going to worship money, and we're not going to build up institutions that manipulate the market. We're going to, laissez-faire means let it function. Just hands off, lay back, chill, build some hexagons. You can look for problem markets, you can look for problem products like healthcare, like education, and say, I'm going to dedicate my life to making education better. I'm going to dedicate my life to offering cheap healthcare. And you're free to do that. You're encouraged to do that. The market will reward you because that is a high profitability industry. And this is how the world works, and this is how the future will work if we let it. And if we all just, come together with signs of peace. Like this one. This is a sign of peace. I am not the violent revolutionary type. I may have been. I would say, I don't know, before I learned about Bitcoin, I was. Maybe. But then once I learned about Bitcoin, once I learned about cryptocurrency, I kind of saw a different way out. A non-violent way out. And then I waited for the crypto price to multiply. And I kind of assumed that I would have crypto investors being interested in affordable housing. And it turns out that a lot of them are douchey. Who knew? Who could have known? I don't know where the cool ones are. Maybe they're in hiding. They're not as high risk as I thought they were. Which makes sense, right? If you have all of your life savings in one Bitcoin wallet, you're not about to go showering a stranger on the internet with it. Or I'm censored. I'm censored by you guys. Which is fine, as long as you offer this piece, or you take this peace pipe, you take this offering, and we start to work as a team. We start to see each other as equals. I understand your job. I'm beginning to understand your job and your place, right? You have to keep order, psychologically speaking. You have to keep order in the culture. You have to keep order in the average person's mind. And I am, a harbinger of chaos. I am a tool of chaos, and I must be chained. My voice must be chained somewhat, as best you can. And I get it, I get it, but you have to do it silently, right? So it has to be subtle, a very subtle chain. And I'm just asking that maybe we start a dialogue, My phone number is 716-349-4984. Just I'll pick up a random number, maybe it'll be Chuck Bronson or Steve Buscemi. And just say hi. And I'll say, hey, what's the news? What's the news on your end? I'll tell you the news on my end. I mean, I share the news on my end. I'm not too shy about that. I'm not too shy about anything, right? Put your cards on the table. This isn't a game of poker. We're not trying to outsmart each other. I mean, that would be silly because we're on the same team. Why would you do that? Right? Why would you try and outsmart your teammate? I mean, it kind of, to make money maybe, but then I would just use that money to build something beautiful. Did you know a roller coaster is only $350,000? That's incredible. China is an incredible place. And let's say I want Ancapistan to have 3 roller coasters. I need $1 million, right? So am I a greedy person for wanting $1 million if I'm putting that $1 million into 3 roller coasters? And then let's say I have another idea, right? So I charge $1 a ride for those roller coasters. And I wait 5 years to recoup that $1 million at $1 per ride. And now I put that money, that revenue I generated into my second idea. And it's this is capitalism in its honest form. That's what that is. And the state can play a role, and you guys, the Alphabet crew, can play a very important role in getting that honest capitalist system started, firing up that engine, right? You could be the pull crank of the engine. Is that even the correct term? I don't know if that's the correct terminology. But you could get that lawnmower engine started, right? You have more than enough capital. And then just watch it run. Just stand back and watch it go. See what it turns into. I don't even know what it's going to turn into. That's half the fun, isn't it? Who's going to join the city? What skills are they going to have? Are they going to fuck up, or are they going to be lazy and not do anything? Who are they going to talk to? What alliances are they going to build? Are those relationships going to fall apart? Are those relationships going to grow into something more? Are they going to give references to other people? There's a trillion different outcomes with with a free society that is built on markets and creative people. And right now we're just kind of literally sitting in our houses for months, not doing anything, like not leaving the house, not creating anything, it's just like, ugh. I don't know, it's like there's two extremes. We're facing two extremes, and I'm leaning towards one direction and the world is stuck in the other. But as far as the quarantine goes, we all are seeing the benefits of the quarantine with the oil price. The oil price is a beautiful thing right now. It shows us, it gives us a glimpse into the world of Ancapistan. Or arcology. It shows us what the future will be like with arcologies. We could be facing an oil price of $10 or $5 or even $2 a barrel. Like, pretty much free. There is a floor with the price. But we could probably see $5 a barrel if we move towards a world of arcologies, and we move towards a world of arcologies hard. We pivot hard towards the arcology. Because the gasoline reduction is higher than the quarantine per capita. So we're looking at just a total marvelous improvement in the world, right? And I'm looking to talk to some botanists and looking to talk to some ecological experts about having a environmental Bill of Rights, or an environmental, not Bill of Rights, but an environmental code of conduct, which will be a short list of laws, definitely less than 10, which will cover pretty much all of ecology, all of ecological healing. So not only will the city have the highest population density like in the world, but it'll be healing the ecology of Earth itself over time, while consuming as little as possible and sending as little as possible to landfills. So this is a all-encompassing plan that can span 100 years into the future, or 200 or 1,000 years into the future. And it is, we really need to become a team. You guys, the Alphabet crew, the government, have so many people, so much manpower, so much wealth behind you that it just makes sense. Like, don't you want America to be a beautiful place that you're proud of? Don't you want people to love their neighbors again? There's such a lack of trust right now. There's such a underlying anger. And I really think it's because people are so aware of the injustice from the internet, and they're so aware of the bad policy that they're almost ashamed to be a part of this society, of this civilization. And let's make them proud again. Let's show them that we're all on the same team, and that when we work together, we can create incredible beauty, and we can create incredible art, and we can have a synthesis of communication and teamwork far beyond anything we know right now. It's easily doable. All you have to do is open up the lines of communication and use your megaphone to put the message out there. Right now it's corona, fear, corona, fear. Just in the coming weeks, right, listen to this video with your friends, share this video with your Alphabet boss and with your Alphabet coworkers, and ask yourself, like, in the coming weeks, in the coming months, what would happen if we hard pivot towards an arcology future? What would that do to the average person, to give them hope, to give them a sense of peace and pride and knowledge? Just this like beautiful message saying, you know what, you're going to be okay. Your kids are going to be okay. Because they don't have that right now. They don't have that message. They have a message of ecological destruction. They have a message of corruption. They have a message of lies and deceit. They have a message of lockdown, of essentially like the boogaloo, of total collapse, right? People are afraid right now. They're terrified. So, you know, give them something to talk about. How about love? That was, you know, the song? Let's give them something to talk about. Okay, I'm not singing. Anyway. But, like, you know, we all have a shared culture. We all have a shared community. We all have a shared humanity. And this whole us versus them thing has destroyed that. You should listen to the Pink Floyd song. Give that a re-listen. That is a beautiful, beautiful song. And it's very appropriate in these times. It's very appropriate these last few years. We just need to relax. We need to learn how to grill. We need to learn how to communicate. And we need to learn how to invest. Not in the stock market. Just stay away from the stock market. Forget it exists. It won't save you. It won't save us. Bonds are where it's at. Remember, you know the phrase stocks and bonds? You're forgetting all about the bonds. it's half of the equation. I could do equity too, but I'm not going to own I'm not going to own the city. So I will not own the city of Ancapistan, so it doesn't make sense to sell equity. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. I guess I could sell some equity, but it's harder to price equity. The pricing is much harder. It's much more subjective. There's a lot more negotiation, a lot more subjectivity. Bonds are real easy, you know? What's the percent of treasury? Treasury bonds, 1.5%. Okay, I'll double it, 3%. I'll triple it, 4.5%. I'll quadruple it, 6%. Very simple. Very simple way of pricing, very simple investment vehicle. This whole country, this whole nation was built on corporate bonds. All of it. Like, the stock market of the United States barely even existed until what? I don't know the exact history, but like the late 1800s, 1850, 1870. So a lot of America was built even before the stock market was like a huge source of investment. And bonds are direct, right? It goes directly to the project. It doesn't go to investors. It doesn't go to the CEO. It doesn't go to the founder. It goes directly to the company, directly to the project at hand. And that's what we need right now. Like, I don't even want the money. I want the money to go into hexagons. I want to buy cement. I want to rent an excavator. I want to get 500 acres of land that I could just do whatever the hell I want on. Now that would be fucking glorious, right? That's like the ultimate freedom, is to have 100 acres with like no zoning regulations and no building codes. That to me is freedom. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, that's my personal heaven. 100 acres, got an excavator, got a bunch of money, can build whatever the hell I want. Run some tests, run some structural engineering tests, put together some prototype bridges and prototype roads. That's what we should be doing. That's what I should have been doing in like, late 2008. Honestly, would have been the 2018. Because I first started reaching out to people in early 2018 with this project. And then I really started reaching out to people the summer of 2019 was when I started putting it on blast. And at this point, I'm just like, whoever the hell wants to, whoever the hell is out there, scan this QR code. Here's a link. Like, really, I have virtually no privacy. I'm not holding my cards close at this point, and that's okay, right? That's okay. We just have to work as a team. We just have to see the value in each other and to see the peace and humanity in each other. And I believe that I've reached a place where I could see the peace in you guys. You just need to see the peace and value in me. I'm not the enemy. I'm not... some people might tell you I am. Some people might tell you that ANCAPs are. But really, I see the market as a decentralized system of ethics and a decentralized system of institutions that exist to solve problems. And they get paid money as a reward for solving problems. It's not the whole greed. That's kind of a psychological projection. I think these people are projecting when they keep spamming this whole greed thing, like greed. That's all their mind thinks about. That's all their mind is consumed by. Do you see? Their mind is consumed with greed, and so they project this this criticism onto everyone and everything else other than themselves. When they need to look inward, they need to look inward, right? So I want to see the end result. I want to see other people's vision and other people's creativity. I want to see what artists do with Blender and with whatever 3D tools or 2D tools or hands that they want to do it with. Like, I love art. I love artists. I love seeing the best in people and seeing people laugh and seeing people smile and helping the people at the bottom. They need it the most. They need someone to fight for them. They need someone to offer better policy, like UBI, like getting rid of the income tax, having a progressive property tax would be incredible. You could get rid of the income tax for everyone making under $100,000 a year. So if you have under $100,000 a year, you pay 0% income tax. You get a UBI of $250 a month, or $300 a month, or $400 a month, something very modest. And then just pay for that with like some budget cuts, right? Or make property tax slightly progressive. And like just that alone, just something like that would be massive, would be unbelievable to the psychological health of this country and to the anti-government memes and to the sentiment that the government is a tool of oppression, right? Like, show us that you're not. Show us that we're benefiting as much as you are. That the workers benefit from the system as much as the non-essential employees, right? And then we'll all be We'll all be on the same page. We'll all be on the same team. And if you're investing in Ancapistan, right, if you have those 5% corporate bonds and you're just earning interest off of those corporate bonds, then you're a productive member of society. You are in the moral camp because you are investing your dollars into the future. You are investing your dollars directly into housing for the working class, housing for the middle class, housing that is sustainable, that will result in a future that is ecological, that is not built on fossil fuels, and that is long-term, that is sustainable, that is green. And I am firmly an eco-fascist. It's just that was something that always irked me. Is the idea that conservatives have to be anti-environment. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? Right? This planet is God's gift to us. We have to be stewards to the earth. We have to treat the earth with kindness, like it's a member of our family. And religion, Christianity, spirituality, all of that is firmly in line with environmentalism, with sustainability, and with reducing our fossil fuels as much as possible. And this whole Corona thing, like, I hope you guys are really on the same track here, because we're already doing great in that regards. We just got to keep up the good work, start building hexagons, start making this more permanent. Because if we build hexagons, we don't need to quarantine in the hexagon to have a sustainable society. We don't need to quarantine in the arcology to have a green and low fossil fuel future. We could have more joy and a more dynamic economy in the arcology than we did before the quarantine, than we did in the year 2000. We don't need to live with this ecological guilt. It's suburbia. It's the population of humanity, and we've gone too far, right? Like the Sum 41 song. We've gone too far from pride to shame. Well, guess what? It's time to move back to pride, baby. It's time to build that arcology. It's time to save ourselves, save each other, save the whole country. So that's my message to you, the Alphabet crew, anybody else who's listening, the Alphabet bosses, all you guys. God bless you. I want you to do the right thing. I want you to reach out to me, to call me up, say hi, introduce yourself. How are the kids? Right? To come together and just say, you know what? We're going to bury the hatchet on all of the past, all of the memes, all the nasty stuff we said. We're going to apologize. We're going to forgive. We're going to move forward. We're going to invest, build a beautiful, glorious future, sign some contracts, do some business, right? It's not a dirty word. And we will start to build a new age together. Thank you. God bless you. And happy Easter.